Well, in my class, I like to encourage study groups and things like that. It's a pretty tough class, not gonna lie. Um, Kids don't all learn the same, so they got to get new ways to learn information, and I really promote that. Um, those old teachers that keep talking about how it has to be a set way each time, come on, come on, that ain't it. All right, guys, welcome to Mr. T's history class. Now, this is a pretty tough course, so I really do encourage group work and learning from other people. Have an open mind going into things. You never know what you'll learn from other people.
Really, in my classroom, I believe it's my way or the highway. Kids need to have a set curriculum that they go through and a very strict teacher. And that's who Mr. Krabs is. That's me. I'm a very strict teacher, and I believe in what I do. If the kids don't understand it, well, they need to. They need to be able to move on. We've done this in the history, and it's created very good things for us. And so why would we not continue to do that? I don't know, but that's why I continue to do it. Welcome to Mr. Krabs' class. That's Mr. Krabs to you. All you guys are going to call me that. And today we're going to be learning about social studies, and we're all going to learn it the same way. No study groups, all individual. No one will have any help from anyone else. And you all need to learn it the same amount at the same time before we move on. Got it? Good.
I mean, I really like to see what the kids got to say. Honestly, it's all about the kids. It's what they can do. Because if I don't know what they can do, then nobody knows what they can do. So, we need to let the kids speak. A great quote from a great man named Michael Scott. You miss every shot you don't take. So I really like to encourage questions in my class and engage with the students to make sure they understand what I'm teaching. All right, class. Today, there was an important event that happened in 1492, and that's what we're going to be discussing. Does anybody know what it is? Yes.
Michael Jackson's death?
No, no. Close, though. Close, close. It's actually when Christopher Columbus sailed the ocean blue. Sail ocean blue. Now, does anybody know the ship that he sailed across the ocean blue with?
Titanic.
No, that's not it. Close, close. Good try, though. Good try.
I don't really like to take a lot of questions from kids because I've already lived the situation, they haven't, so I know more than they do. Their ideas are just the same as mine, if not lesser, because I've experienced way more stuff than them. I have more wisdom than them in many areas, so why would I want to listen to them or see what they have to say? I don't. So as we're going through this, please make sure you just stay with me here and keep going here. We've got a lot of information thrown at you, but you need to know all of this, so please keep up.
Can you slow down, please?
Nope, you got to keep up here. It's a lot of information, I know, but you have to know this, okay?
I mean, in my class, I teach a history class. Most of these kids don't really care about history. Let's be real here. And I know that. But I am just trying to get them ready for the real world. The outside world. Outside of school, outside of these books, outside of these research papers. I just want them to understand that they need to have not only good work ethic, but also good character. Everybody wants to be successful. That's what it's all about. That's what kids want these days. But I need to teach them that they can be successful and have good character. You know, guys, the American Revolution is a really important topic. But I want to get it through your guys' brains that this class isn't all about history. You're not going to talk about the Civil War, American Revolution,
Christopher Columbus in your everyday lives. My class is to build character, to get you to understand things. I believe the purpose of education is to prepare you guys for the next level, whether that's more school, real life, a job. You're rarely going to get a job unless you're a big history fanatic, like me, where you talk about history the entire time. So make sure that you understand that my class isn't just history.
I'm here for one reason and one reason only, and that's to teach the kids what I put on the board. I could care less what they do after or before school. That's none of my business. I already have to deal with these brats from 8 to 3, and that's enough for me. So I'm just trying to teach them what's on the board. I could care less how they do after my classes. Good character, positive vibes, no, none of that matters to me. They need to understand what I put on the board, and that's it. Make sure you're getting all this down. Hold up. For a second, I want you all to know something, what I believe the purpose of education is. It's for you to learn. And right now, I don't feel like you guys are paying attention and doing that. You need to make sure that you're learning what I'm writing on the board, because that's why you're here in school. Here to learn, here to get smarter. You guys need to get smarter, okay? You're here to learn, so learn what I am writing up here. Never in my life before have I worked this hard in a class. Mr. T makes me really love learning and makes me want to keep going at it. He always asks me questions about what I can do for him and how I can show him what I need to learn on. He's always willing to cater to what I need in the class, but not just me, the other students too. I'm learning way more in this class than I ever have in any other class, especially Mr. Krabs' class, because he doesn't help me learn in that class at all. But the way I learn in here, it makes me want to work harder than I ever have before, especially in Mr. T's class.
In Mr. Krabs' class, it's honestly a pain. It feels like I'm pulling my own teeth to learn. Honestly, like, this guy, he makes me hate learning. Every time I step into his classroom, and he's always super loud, and it's an 8 a.m. class. Like, come on. Jeez, this guy.
As a teacher, I like to be understanding. I mean, students go through a lot in their everyday lives, and a lot of teachers don't get that. They have lives outside of school, believe it or not. I mean, you just gotta know that they got a lot of other stuff that they can't control. And me being understanding as a teacher shows them, like, hey, I get it. You have to work. You have to study for another class. You have a paper for another class. I'm pretty lenient with my students. I mean, of course they have to make up all the work, but I'm understanding with them outside of school.
Alright, class. Today we are talking about World War I and the importance of it. Now, excuse me. How you feeling, bud?
Sorry, I was working at McDonald's last night and I had the late night shift, so I didn't get out till 2. I'm just so tired.
Hey, man. Take a day off. It's okay. Go to bed, get some rest. You can't learn when you're half asleep. It's alright. Oh, thank you.
Kids sign up for my class for a reason, so I expect them to be here attentive for a reason. If you're falling asleep in my class, that's not gonna fly. You need to be here ready to be prepared because I am taking the time out of my day to teach you my knowledge that I have for you so you can become as smart as me one day. So I would hope you would not be falling asleep. I don't care what my students have outside of school. That doesn't matter. You need to come to class prepared and ready to go. So today we're going to be learning about the quadratic formula. So, B2 here. Excuse me! Why are we falling asleep in my class?
I'm sorry. I was just I worked pretty late last night until like 2 a.m. and this is an 8 a.m. class. I'm sorry, I just got a little tired.
Do you think I care about your excuses? No, you need to show up, be ready, not falling asleep in my class, come prepared and stay awake and learn.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
When Mr. T handed our test grades back the other day, I was really disappointed to see that I got a D on one of the tests. But he wasn't even mad about it. In fact, he told me good job on it. He had a smiley face on my paper. And so I went up to him and I asked, why would you say good job? And it's because he recognized how hard I was working in the class. This history subject doesn't come easy for me. And I've been busting my butt to learn it. And I'm having fun while doing it too. But it still doesn't come easy. And I tried my hardest on the test and I only got a D. But he was able to recognize how hard I tried. And that's what really means a lot to me, is he's recognizing the work I'm putting in.
In Mr. Krabs' class, like I'm really trying, and I only have a C+. And he can't even see that I'm trying that hard. He thinks that I'm just dumb or something. Like, it's honestly crazy. Like, I'm working my butt off every night, making sure I understand what he's teaching, and then I get my test grades back, and I'm just like, what? But he doesn't even see that I'm trying. Like, he doesn't, like, I reach out to him, and he just doesn't even see.
In my class, sometimes I like to open up discussions, to hear what the students want to learn about. Like the other day, I got a question about the upcoming election, so I wanted to make sure they were prepared. I want to make sure that the education is centered around the students. I want to make sure that they are getting what they need and the knowledge they need to succeed in life after school.
Okay, class. Today, I want to hear from you guys. What historical event do you feel like you struggle with? Something that you don't really understand and want more understanding of? Because I'm here to help. Yes.
I turn 18 tomorrow, so I kind of want to know more about elections and how those work because I can be voting soon.
That's great. That's great. Here, I want to teach you so that you're prepared to vote, to make sure that you understand both sides.
Students always ask me to change my lessons plans because they seem to already know these things and don't know other things that they want me to teach them. But why would I do that? I have a set schedule that I have for everything laid out already, and I'm going to follow that to a T. There is no way I'm getting off track of that. My students will learn what I have for them, and I'm not going to recenter anything around my students. Never would I do that. No, because they come here to learn from me, and that's how I'm going to teach them. Now, I've noticed I've been getting quite a few emails about me teaching different curriculum in different subjects. But I have bad news for you all. I make a strict study guide for myself before each year, and I am following that set curriculum throughout the year. So I'm sorry for all you that want to learn about different stuff. That's not happening. We're staying to what I had for the class, okay?
But what about stuff for like everyday life and stuff like that,
You will learn what I had set out for you, and you apply that to your life however you can, okay?
Yes, sir.
And raise your hand before speaking out.
Yes, sir.
When I hand back exams, I like to make sure that the students understand why they got the question wrong. So I offer a sign-up sheet. It's mandatory. They have to meet with me. Good or bad scores on the test, they have to meet with me. So I can talk to them one-on-one, make sure they're getting the material, and if they're struggling, I'm there to offer help, and I'm there to give them good feedback,
All right, class, today you're getting back your tests. There you go. And now everybody gets a sign-up sheet because I want to have a one-on-one with everybody just so I can make sure, help them out with the stuff they did wrong and, tell them about the stuff they did right, and I can offer some help
for practice for the stuff they did wrong.
When I hand a student their test back, they can get their own feedback from what I marked wrong and right. They should be able to tell by their mistakes which one they got wrong and which one was correct on the one that they got wrong. I don't need to sit down and baby them on what they need to learn. When I've already put it on the board, they can go back in their notes where the information should be, look through it, and find their own stuff. I don't need to hold their hand while they do it to say, no, they have the information, I'm going to let them use that information. It's when they get out in the real world, they're not going to get catered. So I'm not going to cater them here. All right, so I have your test to hand back today. Overall, not a very good job. Here's yours. I marked what you got right and what you got wrong, and your percentages on the top. All right, into our next lesson
Can we
plan.
go over number 23?
We do not have time for that today. We need to get into our next lesson plan, but I am sorry about
But
that.
how am I supposed to learn for the next time?
Please stop blurting out. We are going over the next lesson plan. In past classes that I've had, my teachers never listened to me. But in Mr. T's class, it's a brand new day every single day. He's always willing to listen to every student's ideas and what they have. And he believes that we can help teach the class, not just for him, but for teaching our own students. It helps each other out. And that's what I really like about him, is he's willing to listen to us and give us the opportunity to speak our mind.
Mr. Krabs really just never listens to us. It's all about him. He's just a big guy. I mean, like, I have some suggestions for him, about learning and stuff. Like, maybe if he teaches this way. But nope, he won't listen to me at all. He doesn't listen to any of his students. Really sucks, because I can not learn anything in his class.
Not everybody in my class is the same. Nobody in this world is the same. I mean, everybody learns differently. Some people have disabilities. And therefore, I like to cater to the students that need help the most. And it's not unfair at all. They have a hard time learning the information. I mean, kids just have to come up and ask, honestly. It's all about the students. Everything starts with the students. And I also open up my class for discussions to talk about what I can do better as a teacher. Like, if they're not getting information, why not? I want to understand the why questions from my students. So here's a good example of how I like to run my class. I mean, if I'm giving a lesson and these are my students, some students might retain the information and be here, where they only need that much help. And some students might be here, and they need this much help. For these students right here, I like to give, some extra options for them. Understand what they need and why they need it. Making sure that they're gonna get the information that I'm teaching. So I might not spend as much time with this person because they've already got it down. But with this person, we can have some extra practice or whatever they want.
I don't really cater to anyone's needs in the class. I'm going to treat all the kids the same way because that's only right. And our world needs equality, and it is very equal that the way I distribute my effort into the class. I do not favor anyone in the class, and I do not discriminate anyone in the class, but I give them all an equal opportunity, and I treat them all with equality.
What about the racetrack behind you?
Oh, no, I do not believe in that. Each kid is starting right here. They all start on the same plane, and I give them all the same amount to get there. And whether they get there or not, that is their own fault.